Day. Happy first day of officially the Easter season. Welcome, all of you. I hope you all had a wonderful, beautiful, fabulous, family inspired, filled, fruitful, and relaxing Easter Sunday. So we took the day off here and lounged in our jammies and just really kind of had a great time. So I'm back for some caffeine and quarantine chatting. Is this not the cutest little mug? So I've got actually a link. I grabbed this from an Etsy store. You know, I'm all about supporting our Etsy local shops because they are just like us, working from home, trying to manage all of this. But yeah, so I figured we'd have a caffeine and quarantine chat this morning, specifically about stress, because I feel like I'm definitely starting to feel it. Tomorrow or Wednesday marks 4 weeks of me doing these lives officially. So, and it doesn't look like there's a total end in sight. So let's have a little chat. It's coffee o'clock here too, the busy little house. I love it. So welcome all of you. I hope you all had a wonderful just Easter day. And futuristic. Thank you for $5 live super chat. Thanks. So super chats are always on. I'm grateful for that. Totally supports our channel. So comment down below. Let me know. Did you guys have an awesome Easter? I totally missed you yesterday. You're part of my normal routine. And as such, we didn't really, two of the three didn't change out of their jammies all day. I took a bath like around 1:30 and changed, but we were lazy bums. And then last night we had terrible storms here in Georgia. Brian apparently was up on tornado watch until 3:30. He freaks out. We have all these crazy big pine trees in our yard. Oop, I lost my earring. And so anyway, I tell you this because it's a little hectic this morning. So school is out. Gabriel's off school today because of the holiday. So he might hear a lot of craziness happening up there. But EB, our essential worker, the Easter Bunny, scored big time. We were able to put out some fun eggs, and we did our Easter egg hunt in the yard. And then the giant hamster and the Paw Patrol airplane are still a humongous hit. So score to the quarantined Easter Bunny. So anyway, I hope you guys had a great Sunday. And today I really want to dig into stress because I think we all need some stress relief. And with our live show, just to kind of recap for all of you new joining us, the live show is a little bit of a different format. It's not edited. It is literally just me chatting with you and engaging with all of you because this is a way for us to come together collectively as a community to support each other, communicate, and also dig into ways to support your bodies and your families to keep you healthy and safe during this crazy time. And every week I go through some news. So we have news that I want to share, just a few little tidbits of news. I have some Georgia news that might actually relate to every state news. And then I want to share with you an amazing program that we are becoming a part of personally. And then I'm thinking, I want your opinions professionally if this is something that we should look at as a natural health resources focus during this time. And then apart from it. And then we're going to dig into stress. So I have my two favorite stress relieving herbs I'm going to talk to you about, as well as some powerhouse combos of those that literally keep me kicking and sane. And then of course our quarantine and coffee and quarantine. I just love this mug. It's really cute. It's got a little glitzy to it. And grab a link down below in the Etsy store to support an Etsy vendor. And actually she and Sarah, my friend who does these masks, by the way, these are available in her store. They were the fastest of the folks who shipped. So I have some fun earrings coming and some shirts, and apparently a lot of them are coming today. So you'll see me wearing some of them tomorrow. Jenny from the block says she's in New York City. Bone broth done. Yay. I'm so excited. So love bone broth. If you didn't catch that on our last show, that we dug into the bone broth. But okay, let's talk about where we're at. We are inching up globally. We're almost at 2 million cases. The US still is lacking in testing. We are just falling behind the ball when it comes to being able to help keep people safe. And it's plaguing it's the reason why we're in this kind of limbo. Like, we don't know how long we're going to be in this. We don't know when we're going to get out of it. We don't know if this is going to, I mean, now I'm now hearing reports of November. So it might be affecting the school year next season. You know, we have 10 million people. I think it's more than 10 million. We have 10% of our population here in the US that are unemployed, and probably more, because I know people, I have friends, I follow them, their trials and tribulations of trying to register online. Some are waking up at 2:30 in the morning trying to file for unemployment. And supposedly the checks are out in the mail, or not in the mail. They're supposed to be digital. The reimburse or the relief checks, direct deposit, if you will, is supposed to have hit people yesterday, and starting yesterday through this week. So craziness. So let me report some news. So New York is at 188,000 cases. They've surpassed a lot of the countries that are dealing with this. And I think 40 or 50% are in New York City. Many of you were on the live on Saturday. I announced my cousin, who I'm 9 years older than her. She is going into Brooklyn. She will be taking a 5-week assignment as a nurse to be one of the relief workers. And I have some discussions about some of the hospitals and why she's able to do this. But New Jersey's at 61,000. Massachusetts and Michigan are hovering 25,000 respectively. And then Pennsylvania is inching up 22. Florida's up there in the 19s. So we're not done, and we're probably in the very beginning of this. So I'm telling you this because we have to buckle up and we have to get ready. And part of our preparedness and readiness is to get ourselves mentally, physically ready and get our bodies ready, because this is going to be a stressful time. It's going to be a stressful year for all of us. So that's where I'm kind of at here on Monday. Not to be doom and gloom, because I always want to inspire and empower and educate you. But I've got resources that can help you get through this. But we just kind of, again, a lot of this is setting expectations, just like with you all. I set the expectation of our live show. For many of our regular followers who come to watch the show, not on live, they get frustrated by our format. And unfortunately, as part of the way this particular show is, well, this live show is very much like our world right now. It's unpredictable, it changes, and it is not as edited and as synchronized and as organized. And so we just have to roll with it. It's all good. Our bodies are going to adapt, and stress is going to be huge. Okay, so let's talk about what's going on. So I want to highlight a few things. Georgia, I've been digging into Georgia and what's going on here, because I feel like I'm a little less connected to Georgia than I am the world and the US. But Georgia right now, Atlanta is building a 200-bed hospital in our main convention center downtown, as are a lot of cities that are expecting growth. So Georgia is anticipating the end of April will be maybe our peak. And we grew in a week. We went from 7,300 to 12,400. So it was a pretty big increase. People still in my area are acting like nothing is wrong. We were invited to some Easter parties yesterday. You guys know my thoughts on that. We need to stay home, stay safe, stay masked up when we are out and about, and limit our exposure to all people. Our governor's mansion, there was a worker who tested positive. So it's possible he's had some exposure in his home. The Humane Society, you guys all love Daisy, our little crazy pup that we got from the Humane Society, who keeps jumping our fence. We adopted her from the Atlanta Humane Society. So I'm on these emails, and there was an email that came out over the weekend that at least the Georgia Humane Society, and I'm thinking this probably will be in effect for all states as well. But the Georgia Humane Society now has a hotline, a virus hotline, and they are offering free pet food for folks who need pet food for their animals. And they have certain times where you can go and pick it up. Like the shelter we picked up, Daisy, they're open, I think, Wednesdays 2 to 4. And so if you need pet food for your animal, you can go there. So this is big because we all have our pets, and a lot of people not only are lacking food for themselves, but also for the animals. And I know a lot of people who would feed their dogs before they feed themselves, because they're our family as well. The other thing the Humane Society is offering is virtual vet care for folks that don't want to come in or can't afford to take their animals to a vet. And if you are an owner and you have to go into the hospital, they will organize free emergency pet boarding. So they have boarders and I think relationships with local vendors that will take your animal in free of charge so you don't have to worry about your pet, because that is something that people won't leave. I mean, we all know them. Some of us fall into that category. You want your animals to be taken care of. You might not put your you might not put your healthcare in front of your dog or your cat or whomever you have at home. But that's really important. So I put that out there because if you or know anybody or even can post to Facebook, because this is all about communal getting the word out, our humane societies are definitely taking on the role of resources for our animals. With that being said, the hospitals, I want to talk to you a little bit about what we should be kind of expecting from hospitals. So there's a lot of discussion with some of the smaller community-based, rural-based hospitals where they are, that some of them, based on some of the guidelines from the states, that they have to clear out their beds, they are, canceling all surgeries to prepare and get ready for maybe an onslaught of virus cases. Well, one of the things that we're starting to see happen as there's more communication from these hospitals is that there is a risk of closure, hospital closure, and potentially hospital bankruptcies because of this. And that already hospitals are furloughing their employees. And I mean, this is everybody from custodial staff to dietitians to even lymphatic professionals to nurses, PAs, PTs, rad techs. I mean, everybody who's working in the hospital setting. If your hospital now is at really low capacity because you're anticipating an onslaught, we're seeing hospitals that are making adjustments to their staffing. So that is pretty overwhelming for a lot of professionals when you see New York City or any of, Michigan and even like New Orleans or Louisiana, where we need workers, we need relief workers up in Massachusetts. So we might start to see more professionals like my cousin stepping up, because even in her mom told me over the weekend, Sarasota, where she works, the hospital is going to furlough people. So it is crazy. So I put that out there just to tell you this is kind of what's happening. So this will have a long-term effect where we get our care, where we get our screenings, where we get our tests, all of these things. This will be a ripple effect. Okay, and then the other thing I saw, because it was a little bit of a holiday weekend, I don't have any major reports from the CDC or any type of new research that I ran across, but because of flying, Delta, at least they're the only ones that have put this out there in a policy. They have changed their boarding procedures. So if people do decide or they have to fly for whatever reason, they are going to be boarding people from the back up. So they're going to board by row and by seat. So there's the least amount of engagement with people. Although, if there are droplets and people are walking past the front, but they are asking, they're requesting that all people who travel wear masks. So that's going to be great. They are offering masks. Let's turn this around. They're offering masks to their employees. So we're going to see when things kind of get back to new normal, we'll be seeing people flying with masks, and this will be a much more common, frequent occurrence, which, by the way, if you don't have a mask, please do grab one. Actually, grab a few. Grab at least two for yourself, because you want one that you can, I call it a pair and a spare. You want one that you can have that you're wearing, one that is washing or clean, so you always have access. And then get them for your family members, spouses, partners, any of your family who are in nursing homes. I've got a lot that I am going to be shipping out when they come in. But this is the first one that arrived. This is from my friend Sarah. She has the 2 layers. And then there's a pocket insert when my filters, they are en route. When they come, I can put in a filter, 5-layer carbon filter. So she's shipping these out. She's got them. She worked all day yesterday. And she's awesome. So you guys can buy from her. And again, these are Etsy shops. So this was another Etsy shop I supported caffeine in quarantine. Is this not cute? Super fun. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of people being frustrated. The real Charlie Orange, I need a surgery. I bet when it's time that they open up, they will be understaffed and it will take forever. Yeah, hopefully hopefully the hospitals can get this back up and running. Jana is in upstate South Carolina. Power off since 3:30 a.m. Bad storms. Yeah, they came through here. I can sleep through anything, like jet engines, crazy lightning storms. I do remember seeing some flashes, but Brian was like, I can't believe you slept there. And apparently, we're at the corner of 3 counties, and all 3 counties had tornadoes. And, that's real helpful, right? It's Easter evening. We're in quarantine crisis, and, people are already furloughed, dealing with financial issues, and then a tornado. Like we need that, right? Icing on the cake. It's ridiculous. Okay. So Naja Finch, I ordered 2 and I absolutely love them. Yay. So yay. Thank you for supporting Sarah. Sarah's furloughed as well. So she is moving to her great crafty creativity. She's amazing. Her and her mom are great. Gabriel has all sorts of cute things in his room and pillowcases and stuff. So craziness. All right. So the other thing, and this is what I want your opinion on, and then we'll go into talking about stress. A friend of mine, I don't know if I didn't mention it here on our live, but I did post to, I think, a community tab on YouTube. And also I posted it on my Facebook page and on my Instagram story. There is an organization called One Simple Wish. And I need to post that on the description. So it's called One Simple Wish, and it is a 100% charity run organization. They work with kids who are displaced due to foster care. They work with kids that might be going up for they're in that adoption phase and they might be in foster care, or for whatever reason, the court has removed them from the family, or if they are being replaced, they have a relationship with these children. In a lot of their cases, especially in foster care, one of my good friends that I met when I was living in Japan the first weekend, I didn't realize it, but it said on his, it was his birthday recently, and he said, I'd love, instead of cards and everything and wishes, just please make a donation to this one community organization. And so he posted it, and I started reading about him, and I'm instantly hooked on it. It's called One Simple Wish. And what they do is they provide resources, like just essential resources. Sometimes it might be luggage. It might be food, gift cards for food. It might be clothing. It might be school supplies for these kids who go from, their home environment to a temporary environment or back. Many times they don't even have suitcases when they move. I mean, it's heartbreaking. But now he highlighted the fact that there are these communities of kids that are in this limbo world, and now they're not going to school. So where maybe they used to go to school and they'd have access to, technological resources, or they do craft projects at school, or they'd be fed at school, they're not getting that access. And now with digital learning, many of these kids they don't have home environments where they can take a lot of stuff with them, and some of them don't even have laptops or tablets at home. So this organization has these wish lists, and I've been watching it now for a week. These wish lists are growing, and some of them are as minor as, a wish list is $35 to get craft supplies, or $55 to buy art supplies. One was a pogo stick, or on the higher end, it's $200 or $300 for a tablet or a laptop to be able to continue educational. I mean, now all kids are now doing their schooling. Oh, that's dropped again. They're doing schooling online. And what about these poor kiddos that they don't have that? They're going to be missing out on social connection. And then also several of them, they're now doing some of their therapies. So there's healthcare needs within that, where they're doing telemedicine programs and So it just breaks my heart. And so I wanted to communicate that. One, I want to put that in the description box below. So I'll link to that. But you can find them. They are on all social sites. So you can check them out and, kind of validate them if they kind of qualify for you all. But it's onesimplewish.org. And I have a description. In the description box, I have a link to them. ONE simplewish.org. But what I was thinking, and please comment and let me know, I'm thinking about, they have a way to set up, like if a business wanted to have like a business fundraiser, they can set up a portal and we could all collectively raise money. But what do you guys think? Do you think that would be something that you'd want to see Natural Health Resources get behind? Because I think kids, especially kids with like learning disabilities or, learning impairments or health impairments, that are in a situation, they can't go and get work. They can't go online because they don't have those resources. So I definitely love your opinion on that. So, okay. So let me know, comment down below what you think. And I'm seeing lots of communication here. Thumbs up. And okay, so, okay. Oh, Futuristics, enjoying a month free in a hotel. Oh, nice. Where are you at? And by the way, thanks for the super chat. All right, good morning, Lois. Okay, so that's what I'm kind of thinking, if that's something that you guys want to do. But it definitely would be, I think, a really great way to connect us with a good community-based program. All right, so, all right, I will definitely put up additional links here too. All right, so let's talk about our topic at hand. We're under a lot of stress, and whether you feel like you're handling it well or not, it doesn't really matter. This situation is unlike anything we've ever dealt with. It's unprecedented, and it plagues on our physical state. A lot of us aren't exercising and working out. Hi, Australia. We're not exercising and working out like we used to. It's limited, even if you're still getting out. A lot of parks are closed. And one of the things that I think would be important to note is also just the nature of staying inside and staying disconnected. It's affecting us. It's affecting our mental state. It's affecting our engagement with each other. And so I want to put this out there that we both need to deal with our physical stress, our mental stress, our social stress, because there is social stress. There's also the realization now that it's just beyond 2 or 3 weeks. And in the beginning, I was saying we need to plan, friends, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, 14 weeks. Even up to 16 weeks. Well, we're now 4 weeks in, really, most of us are about 4 weeks in, and we're looking at least 8 to 12 more weeks, and maybe some alterations too to the normal day-to-day life. Well, that is going to be highly stressful. So I want to share with you 2 herbs. Today, we're going to talk about 2 herbs that are powerful for managing and dealing with stress. If you're excited about this, feel like you're dealing with stress, give me a thumbs up. YouTube, hit that like button, hit the share button. I'm grateful for your communication of today's video chat, because it does help us get out the word. And Vicki, thank you so much for the thumbs up. So let's talk a little bit about my favorite stress-related herb. And these 2 herbs that I'm going to highlight are what we call adaptogenic herbs. So they are adaptogens. And basically what that means is they help our body adapt to and deal with and manage all different types of stress. There are tons of clinical research. So this is substantially founded. It is substantially articulated in terms of the capacity for these herbs to support our body. We also see, particularly one of them has been studied extensively with Olympians, athletes, astronauts. It is, I consider it one of the most researched adaptogenic herbs, and it's called Rhodiola. Okay, Rhodiola is my favorite. And for me, rhodiola was one of those herbs that was a life-changing herb in my 20s. The good news is now we see it combined with the other one that I love, and it's called Tulsi or holy basil. So I'm going to share with you three supplements. One of them is a kind of herbal capsule, kind of a liquid tincture in an herbal capsule form. It's called Stress Response. This is a product that we sell. It's a Gaia product. It is sold only in my online stores. It's one of those that is sold only to professional care providers. So folks with like myself that has licensure or qualifications to sell these products. Most of the time you don't find these on, at your Whole Foods or the aisles of Target or your, local natural product store. It's a little bit of a higher grade, partially because of the way they manufacture it and just their distribution model. But the Gaia Stress Response is, it is so good. It has rhodiola, and it has about 120 milligrams of rhodiola. And so rhodiola is a Siberian herb. It grows in Russia. And this is the herb that's been the most researched herb that is out there. It is substantial in helping us manage stress. Now, a lot of times people will ask, can I take this when I'm pregnant? No, you do not want to take rhodiola. We don't have extensive studies with pregnancy. So for folks that are not pregnant and not lactating, so I couldn't take this when I was pregnant or breastfeeding. So, that was about 3.5 years of time that I did not have rhodiola in my life, and I missed it. But rhodiola is pretty phenomenal at helping us balance our stress response. It helps us deal with mental and physical stress every day. So if one day is more physical and one day is more mental or combination of both, it helps the body deal with that stress. It has a very positive response on our cortisol level. So it helps manage and keep cortisol lowered. And that is powerful. The other herb that I love is called holy basil. And holy basil is a phenomenal, or it's called holy basil or Tulsi. Holy basil is another amazing adaptogen. And again, that's been studied extensively. And these two in combination, so stress response, you're going to get about 210 milligrams of these two herbs, power punch in terms of liquid phyto powerhouse. So essentially it's like the liquid tincture in a liquid capsule. I love it. And it's this little green box. Gaia herbs are really powerful. I've sold these in my clinic setting and in retail setting for over 12 years. I love them. And it also combines some other things. So the stress response also has a little ashwagandha. It has a little shishandra berry, which is another good adaptogen. And then it also has oats milk or milky seed extract. So that's another kind of balancer to stress. But essentially, when we pair up holy basil and rhodiola, it helps your body manage stress. Now, it doesn't, I want to be really clear. This is not the compound. This is not the compound that will cut cortisol. It will limit it on the front end. But if we're dealing with a lot of cortisol, we have to work with something else. But this on the front end will help manage the stress so that you don't have that cortisol impact. So this is great for a lot of those underlying health conditions we're trying to support and minimize the extent of needing to be in the hospital, or if you did come down with the virus, you can support your body on the front end. Now, I see a question here. Sheila Newman, can you take it if you have Hashimoto's? I would not take the stress response from Gaia. What I would take would be this. This is the stress suppress tea, and it's an adaptogenic tea. And all it has is Tulsi, 2 types of Tulsi, hibiscus, and rhodiola. And this combination, 1 tea bag, has 1,400 milligrams. Sometimes, like you guys know, I'm a huge supporter, and I recommend all the time dandelion tea, because dandelion tea, you can get even more potency in the tea. Well, guess what? 1,400 milligrams of this is insanely substantial. This is a lot stronger than the Gaia herbs, but the Gaia herbs also has some others in blend. So I would double or triple up. Gaia, I take in the morning. I always take Rhodiola in the morning. You take it before noon. That's kind of the best way to take it. Tulsi, you can take anytime, but you can take this tea, 2 glasses in the morning. You can take another glass around lunchtime. Very, very powerful. And so for individual cases, I see Linda, I can't really respond to individual cases. I don't know enough about your background to really respond. So that would be a situation, if anything, talk with your doctors. And again, my recommendation is always talk with your physician, your practitioners, talk with your pharmacist, because many of you might be taking medicine. You want to make sure there are no contraindicators, and herbs are considered medicinal. So you have to make sure that you're okay. The name of the tea, and for YouTube, I've got a link down below. For Instagram, if you want the direct link, I can send you that. Just DM me and I can get that. It's called Stress Suppress. And it does have a little hibiscus. That's what gives it has just a beautiful, here, smell. I wish we had smell-o-vision. It has this beautiful, floral, very kind of rosy floral fragrance. This is not a rooted herb. These are on the higher, floral notes. So it becomes this really beautiful, tea that really, if you add a little honey, you maybe slice in some lemons. It's really beautiful. It's a nicer, lighter tea, like my roasted dandelion root tea. That's as bold, if not bolder, than a coffee. Which, by the way, for all of you new joining, this is my new caffeine quarantine mug. I have to bring out my little heater. Sometimes mugs don't keep coffee as hot as my little stainless steel things. Okay, Sophie's mom. Does holy basil have any bad effects if you have thyroid cysts or nodules? Found a website when doing a search not to take with cysts and nodules. I think a lot of times I have not read anything. I haven't seen any clinical research about holy basil per se with a cyst or nodule, but definitely an ashwagandha is one that I refrain if there's Hashimoto. So ashwagandha has an immune aspect to it that can really minimize. It can impact the immune response, and so with Hashimoto's, we want to be aware of that. Alyssa, there's a link. You can grab it from cute little store on Etsy. It came really nicely packaged, really cute little note. I'm all about that. And it came in a box that said fragile on it, quick delivery. So I ordered this last week, and I'm still waiting on some other things. So I really appreciate the speed of delivery and love it. Okay, so are these recommendations suitable for teenagers? Yes, Reem, they are, for sure. Adaptogens and autoimmune condition, depending on the adaptogens, but the adaptogens I'm recommending today or highlighting are Tulsi and Rhodiola. These two are powerful. I've not seen any data that shows they are in any type of contraindicative state with a thyroid cyst or nodule. But for sure, you wouldn't take these when you're pregnant or lactating. So nursing moms, pregnant moms, you would not take this. That's the one challenge. I had a really hard time figuring out adaptogens apart from nutrients like B's and C to support my adrenals. You're so limited. I ended up going with homeopathics, but I still didn't feel like I got the oomph until we stopped nursing at 2.5. Yeah, he could have kept going. It was beyond 2.5 years, but this is part of my rebounding, impact. So we're 2 years after the fact, and it took me a good year to get my adrenals back to normal just from the lack of sleep. And he was a nighttime nurser. Now the herbs, these herbs, how they're powerful. Oh, thank you. Yay. The real Charlie Orange, she said, I ordered it from the YouTube link you put. Thank you. And by the way, these links, my store link to FullScript, those are all, products that we sell, and that completely supports my channel, as do a lot of the links. So I appreciate it. Oh, Sheila. Oh, great. I love it. It's a really pretty way to spell. So Sheila spells her name. It's an Irish name, Sheelagh. That's beautiful. So my grandfather was extremely Irish. And when I was little, he used to tell me he had a leprechaun that sat on his shoulder. I totally believed him. He was this cute little Irish farmer from Minnesota. But I grew up with all the Irish prayers and just really have an affinity to Ireland. At some point, we're going to go there and see castles and all that good stuff and kiss the Blarney Stone. So Lorraine from Miami, I ordered sewn masks on Etsy 11 days ago, and they still haven't been sent out. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of my initial Etsy vendors got overwhelmed. I'm going to revamp my links, and what I do, I actually reach out to the stores, and I usually place an order just to kind of test it, communicate with the owners. By the way, Erin, who made the shirt I wore the other day, the Namaste, it was a lotus leaf, and it says Namaste 6 feet away. She was so excited. She follows now and posted the video to her community, and a lot of you supported her shop. So she was beyond excited. And a lot of our Etsy owners that I'm working with, I'm getting to know them. And so just like all of the brands that I work with anyway, I really feel it's important to know who you're buying from, and also to align with the best owners. So, okay. Can you take it when trying to get pregnant? Okay. So Letitia, excellent question. So it can help balance the stress that might create infertility, which, by the way, I have a video. I've shot a lot of video. I just am on the editing, and I need to hire an editor. That's kind of where I'm at. But I'm going to talk in a video, hopefully I can put out this week, about Mira. This is this amazing digital product that can identify infertility, or when you're at your most fertile peak. It's pretty phenomenal. They've got this little unit. Actually, Gabriel was playing with it, but they do like these urine sticks, and you stick them in, and it'll say, yes, you're fertile. And it's based on a whole bunch of factors, but one of them, a luteinizing hormone, but very powerful. So leading up to pregnancy, absolutely. And even early pregnancy, most of the time, many of us don't know that we're pregnant until several weeks in. And there's a phase where the connection between the growing fetus, the growing cells that are growing into little human eyes and ears and noses and toes, there isn't necessarily a blood connection to the uterine wall. So there's a time frame that and you see this with a lot of medications in pregnancy, like they'll recommend, second and third trimester not to have any, certain medications. Like there's some blood pressure medicines. And I know this very well because I had to have blood pressure meds during pregnancy at the end. But there are certain things that we say, okay, really from the time you're pregnant to delivery and after the fact is when you'd avoid it. But a lot of times women don't know, and sometimes they don't know for a few months. As surprising as that may seem, that is very realistic. So leading up to pregnancy, stress adapt, and even the particular product I highlight, the Gaia Herbs, the stress response, that's really powerful because it can balance the stress response. And I talked a lot about the thyroid and the stress. There's a big connection where stress imbalances the thyroid. That affects our ovarian function. It also affects our uterine lining. Sometimes we get too thick of a lining because of thyroid imbalances, and also breast tissue. So if you can balance stress and minimize that impact, you're overall helping support your hormonal balance as well. So you get a lot of good balance there. Okay, so Jenny from the block just ordered Stress Suppress on Amazon. Yay, it's so good. Okay, Joanne, yay, she said she ordered masks from Sarah and a few other vendors, and Sarah was definitely pumping stuff out. Okay, Jefferson. Let me know, Kay Jefferson, who that vendor was. I want to make sure that that if I posted links that I remove them. Oh, Jennifer, thank you for helping us first responders. Jennifer, Chicago PD. Yay! Let's give a big round of applause and lots of love to Jennifer Thomas. She is a first responder with Chicago's police department. That is huge. And thank you for your service. I'm just grateful to be able to help you and all of your colleagues. You guys are doing us such a great service. And so this is really big. So I'm going to speak to you, Jennifer, and all of the first responders. One of the major things that is happening right now is just the degree of calls that you guys are having, like the fire department, all of our ambulance services, all of our medical providers, and you're getting lots of applause, hands and love, hearts on Instagram, Jennifer. So I hope you feel the love. One of the things that you guys have to do is we're all in a fight or flight response. They're just different degrees, but like first responders, it's even higher. And I work with a ton of first responders. I work with a lot of doctors, ER doctors, like they're my patients. I have a lot of friends in these categories. We have a lot of family that are first responders. And one of the things that we see, if they don't address and manage their stress on a daily basis. And the other thing that happens is you guys are working crazy shifts. You're doing 12 hours, sometimes 24 hours on, 24 hours off, or you're just working straight through. Like right now, a lot of first responders are just going above and beyond and working extra time. It's quite overwhelming on the body. And the reverse of the scheduling, the lack of sleep, it adds up and it accumulates. And that cumulative effect, it can affect our heart health. It can affect our adrenal, hormonal health. And so it's really, really important that you do have every day some sort of adaptogenic herb or herbal blend in your arsenal. And so adaptogens are great for the first responders because one, you don't know what's coming at you. Every call could be emergent. You could have somebody with a flat tire on the side of the road, and then all of a sudden they have a gun and like your life's being threatened. You just never know. And that is such admirable work. I don't think I could do that just because I don't have it in me to manage that. And so there's a particular protocol that I recommend for folks that are in this line of work. And the big thing is when they are not working, when you're off, you have to rejuvenate. And a big part of that is sleep and restorative techniques and lots of meditation and breathing and self-care work. So, the adaptogenic tea would be something you could drink on your shifts. And, it can be fine chilled. You could have it, in your cruiser with you or wherever your workstation is. But 1400 milligrams, this particular tea is a combination. There's two versions. Tulsi, just like basil, it's a basil. It comes from the basil family. But Tulsi, there's two types. There's a Vana and a Rama. So those are very Ayurvedic in their terms, very Indian. But those are two types of Tulsi plants. So you're pulling two different species, if you will. Then there's hibiscus and rhodiola. The combination of this is 1400 milligrams. So it's not like it's just a straight 1400 milligram Tulsi hit. It's a combination of that. The breakdown, and I'll pull up the particular breakdown. So on the Gaia herbs that we sell in our full script store, the Siberian rhodiola, the extract is 1200 milligrams. And then the holy basil is 90 milligrams. So and you take 2 capsules 2 times a day. So usually it's, at breakfast, kind of with or after meals, at breakfast and lunch. And that gets you through kind of the management of the stress. Then there'd be other things I'd turn to, like kava. CBD is one of these question marks for a lot of first responders because of the different brands that are out there. And I said the word, but that would be, the herbal extract would be something, dependent on the type of extract, might be something that would be helpful, but not if you're being tested, because now there's so many brands that are just so rogue. But for sure, I really, the adaptogens are crucial. Now there's another adaptogen, and this, if you're kind of catching the drift here in the adaptogens, they're all herbal, they're all herbals, and there's an Ayurvedic kind of slant to them because the Ayurvedics, the Indian herbals can be very potent in terms of helping manage stress. And one of my other favorite brands, and I actually have been to this location. So this particular brand, Himalaya, They have big manufacturing and exporting down in the Caymans. But this is another really powerful brand that I love. And this, I have a link. We don't sell this. I probably used to, but this you can grab on Amazon. So there's an Amazon link down below. This is a powerhouse. It's not as concentrated as my Gaia. Gaia is going to be major hit of Rhodiola and Holy Basil. This is a powerhouse. So I do the two, the Gaia stress response, and I'm getting more. But then also this is another good one. And this is called Stress Care. And I don't know if you guys can see, but look at all those ingredients. It's a lot. So I'll save you from kind of digging into all of the different ones. And two, I need readers to see because it's such small print. I swear, I'm totally going blind. But it has a little ashwagandha. It has yarrow. It has a lot. It has turmeric. It has nutmeg. It has clove. It has it's so good. So this is a different type of stress management. And I blend all of them together. So I kind of like to support a lot of different aspects of stress in our stress management. But at the end of the day, today's topic was two powerful herbs that help you respond to stress. And the ones that do the most impactful kind of calming, central nervous system calming, heart rate calming, just eases the stress impact on the body is going to be Rhodiola and Holy Basil or Tulsi. Now, I will tell you this. So if you guys are, ordering online through Amazon, or even like Sprouts has them, Fresh Market, Whole Foods, even Target now. I love my traditional medicinals. They're one of the best tea brands out there because the tea bags are not plastic. So that's a clean tea. They have a Tulsi and ginger combo. So I drink that quite a bit. And I should do a video where I take you into my tea closet. I love tea. It's so, so good. Tulsi with ginger is a really great combination, especially for a lot of my lymphatics. My lymphatic patients that might be dealing with stress-related swelling. The thyroid can induce swelling or water retention. So balancing that is really crucial. So really, really powerful. Let's see, Linda, silly question. Can you grow rhodiola? Is it a plant? It is a plant. And can you grow it? Probably. I have not seen rhodiola seeds, but I will tell you, this year I am gardener Melissa. We are transforming my garden this week. Brian has a whole bunch of wood on order. We are putting in a fence. We literally are going to fence it in, partially from the dogs and then for sure from the deer. We have a fence kind of loosely around it, but it's going to get bigger. And so I have to order more cedar planters. And tomorrow I pick up some of the Georgia heirloom plants from the farm that I purchased from. They had an online sale, which is exciting because a lot of the local, like our nature center, will sell indigenous herbs and plants. And I'm big about that. I think they grow better anyway, and they support the pollinators. So we are, I'm going full on. Like I have a purple heirloom Cherokee. The county we're in is called Cherokee. It's a purple tomato. And then I'm getting this really fun cucumber. It's called a lemon cucumber, and it's round and yellow with like little speckles of green. So we'll see how that does. The problem with cucumbers that I found is there's always those big green worms that somehow show up. And so we'll see how that goes. But we're also contemplating getting the flow, the hive flow. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but we might be putting in our own beehive in our yard. And so there's some things we have to kind of clear with some neighbors, but that would be our way of really enhancing our pollination process and would support obviously our garden. And I have hummingbird gardens. So I do all sorts of stuff. And I have this whole route where our pollinators kind of wander down our yard. And we're just spending a lot of time in our yard and our garden. So I will find that question out, Linda, because if I could grow it, I would. And I also do know, I've checked into this, you can buy mushrooms. So you can grow mushrooms. And apparently there are these like sticks. It's like a wooden log and they have the mushrooms on there. I haven't really dug into the details about it, but apparently you can buy like shiitake, oyster mushrooms and some of the button mushrooms, the portobello mushrooms. You can do that. So if you can do that, I'm thinking we could also probably do rhodiola. Tulsi, I know you can. I don't know if it would grow in the northern areas, but for sure in our area, I think I could probably grow Tulsi. I also am going to try, I can't find all of my seeds from Florida. I had a Florida garden, but there is, if anybody wants an awesome spinach, that is the easiest thing to grow. You can do this on a balcony. You don't even have to have a green thumb. It's so easy. It is this, and it's from India. Or derive the seeds. There are two types of this spinach, and it's called Malabar spinach. There's just straight Malabar spinach, and then there's red Malabar spinach. Oh my gosh. This thing, it will take off. Like I have an area, I'm going to grow it on our pine tree. It'll go as high as it's a vine. It's a vine related, it's a vining spinach plant. And so you have to make sure you've got kind of a way for it to, it just winds, and it just winds and grows. And the leaves, like some of our, they're beautiful. They're in the heart, they're heart-shaped leaves. And I would go out there every morning in Florida because we were, I think, zone 8. They grow really well there, but I can also grow them here in Georgia. And they produce their own buds, and then their little seeds. I can't find my seed packets. I used to collect my own seeds, but oh my gosh, they're so good. So Linda, I'm a little too fearful of the bee. I totally get it. Actually, Melissa means honeybee in Roman, and I've always had an affinity to honeybees. And there is a therapy when I retire. There's a therapy called bee venom therapy that I actually want to learn. And there's supposedly, I checked into this a few years ago, there's this guy, gentleman who goes around, he spends about 8 months with each practitioner, and it's using bees and little stingers and the venom, and then the the human reaction to the venom. It's a way to, it's like acupuncture, but a little bit more, it's like acupuncture and steroids. And there's some different processes and, licensure that I'd have to acquire to do that. But to be a bee venom therapist, you have to have your own beehive. And so you use your own bees, and it's this whole process. I'm very curious about that. And so I don't know, but I tell you what, like Brian's looked into this. You have to buy a hive, or you have to buy, you buy a queen and she gets delivered to you. And so we'd have to buy our queen there's a time frame we'd have to buy her. And then there's this whole process of how you set your little hive up. And they're like, for sure, everybody, animals, humans, within so much distance will get stung. So you have to expect that. And then it comes with this whole bee outfit and the stuff that keeps the bees calm, the smoke or whatever. So very interesting. But spinach, are they organic seeds? Yes. So there's a vendor. I'm going to see if they're open and shipping. There was a vendor that I used that sells only heirloom seeds in Miami that I had purchased all of my seeds for our starter garden in Florida. But that's where I got the Malabar. And Malabar is Malabar. Oh, friends, it is the yummiest. It's like an almond flavored spinach. It's so good. Hi, Danny. I'm great. How are you? Let's see. Shalace, hello. I have asthma remedy made by doctor that has bee serum that calms my asthma. Yeah. So bee venom is pretty spectacular. It has amazing properties. And they started using like bee venom in skincare. Like I have a few bee venom masks. It's pretty intense. Like it stings, and then you get the kind of red inflammatory response. You get hot. But that inflammatory response for some people actually is a healing process. But bees, you know, even honey and the propolis, like the bee propolis, bees are very, very smart. Like, you know, if we didn't infiltrate their world with all these sprays that we put on our flowers, which by the way, if you are a pollinator fan or you want to support your bees, the best thing to do is to plant your own seeds or buy from vendors that are not going to put some sort of pesticidal spray or insecticidal spray on the plant or even inside the dirt that protects the bees, because a lot of the bees are getting killed when they're pollinating, you know, a marigold or whatnot, which by the way, we're going to plant marigold seeds today. But yeah, so I'll keep Whitney, I'll post more pictures. I did a whole bunch of seeds. So I do everything by seed. I've got a few sunflowers that are seeding. So now I need to transplant those. But yeah, so, and oh, by the way, this is an honor. It's been last week we celebrated 2 years. So this is one of my amazing patients, Jeff. He passed of ALS 2 years ago. And since his passing, his main flower of choice that kind of supported his mission of education, it was always a sunflower. Like, it was happy. He was always the little sunglass emoji with sunflowers. And so I said, you know, I want to pay tribute to Jeff and have a sunflower garden. And every year I've failed. And so this year I've even planted more seeds because the ones upstairs did okay. But I used a little peat starters and we just put the seeds in. So yeah, and that's good. Plant your marigolds around the things you want to protect, rabbits, etc. Yes. I'm planting marigolds around around my roses. So we have mole voles. They took out 5 of my rose plants. So I have a beautiful plot, just sunny. And you'll start to see, I'll probably pick some, hopefully they survive the rain and wind, but I have probably 8 buds coming in, and I'm adding some new ones. A purple one, really, it's called, I think it's Blue Girl is the name of it, a blue lady. So, all right. So friends, any questions about stress? There are all different types of ways to manage stress. My most effective, productive, long-lasting, and powerful way is using adaptogens. The effect is subtle. And so I know a lot of times folks will say, I want to feel it, you know, I want to feel like I'm not stressed. Unfortunately, adaptogens just kind of work. You may or may not even feel them working. I'll tell you this experience. And this is why, like, the stress response from Gaia, by the way, there's a link in that to our full script store. Rhodiola took me from literally being bedbound. Like, I was so devastated from Epstein-Barr virus in my early 20s that I couldn't do anything. Like, I was exhausted. My neck was so swollen because my lymph nodes were just so impacted from the viral impact. You know, I had the swollen spleen. I had it all. I had a full-blown exhaustive case. And, you know, my normal doctor, who was a little bit more kind of into functional medicine, had said, this is going to take you a year to get over. You know, and I was like, nope, I need a quick fix. And I remember the first herb that was recommended to me by a guy at GNC was Rhodiola. Rhodiola lifted me out of this fog. Like, my brain fog went away. I felt more energized. I slept better. I got back to normal function at work. I was able to get a job promotion because I was functioning better. I mean, I went from sleeping at my desk. Like, my colleagues would be like, Melissa, you fell asleep at your desk, or you need to go see a doctor. I was in bad shape, friends. And Rhodiola is the single thing that really helped me. And I can't speak enough about its power. All you have to do is type in Google Rhodiola clinical studies, and it is comprehensive in terms of all the different body systems it supports. So, you know, how do you get it in? Use the Gaia, the stress response, because it's so concentrated with the Rhodiola and the holy basil. This stress stress suppressed tea is fantastic for that. Check that out as well. But really, really powerful stuff. And you can take this, really, it's one of those things, have it in your arsenal. You can take these every day if you want. I think right now we should all be taking this daily. Sometimes we'll take this throughout. I'm taking this now every day. I had mine this morning. And it is very powerful to get you through stress-filled times. But also, one of the things with stress, we don't see it until after the fact. And so Instagram, stick with me. You guys are going to kind of we're at the hour mark. I'm going to explain why, for all of you on YouTube, I'm going to explain why you want to take now, how stress affects you after the fact. All right, so I'll see you on the other side, Instagram. Okay, let me do this now. Let me save. Okay, so let me pull them back up, YouTube. If you're liking this, please give me a thumbs up, hit the share button, and it's saving it. And by the way, how cute is this cup? The little caffeine. It's got a little glitz to it. Caffeine and quarantine. Definitely turns cooler in a cup. So I have a little heating thing I think I'm going to put out. Oh, somebody posted a cute little baby. Okay. All right. We're bringing Instagram back. Hi, Instagram. Welcome back. Good Monday morning. So today we're doing a little caffeine and quarantine chat, and we're talking about stress. The first live, which you can watch if you check out the stories down below. We talked a little bit about 2 herbs that I love. That are very pro-supportive of balancing stress, helping you manage mental, physical, emotional stress. But here's the thing that I want to highlight, and then we'll wrap up our morning show. The way stress works is your body adapts. And so we have this whole fight or flight system, and it gets us through. So stress, you might not even be totally feeling symptoms. But as soon as the stress situation is over, so once we go back to our new normal, start socializing again, we go back to work setting, we get back to our normal routines, we all start exercising and, walking outside and having parties and seeing friends, and it'll all be it's going to be a little slow. We'll probably be wearing masks, which, by the way, my friend Sarah makes these, so there's a link down below. These have the adjustable, I love. What will happen is, and I call it the stress effect, and this is a book that is in my head I need to write. But there is an impact, usually 3 to 6 months after the fact, once the stressor goes away. And comment down below if you've ever felt like you've experienced this. Let's say you've lost a job, you've moved, you've had a divorce or breakup, loss of a family member, abrupt changes, health conditions can be trigger, hospitalizations, surgeries can all be triggers. And then 3 to 6 months is when you start seeing major impact, major hit on blood pressure, see major hit on your metabolic process. Sometimes there's weight gain, sleep, hormonal imbalances, hair is falling out. It starts to affect all of these systems in our body. That is the aftermath. It's like the tsunami. It comes and we don't always see it coming. And then all of a sudden we're in it and you can't even know where's up from bottom, up and down. It's hugely, hugely impactful if you can balance your body with adaptogens. So adaptogenic herbs are very potent at balancing the stress response. So it limits that tidal wave aftermath of stress. And that's really what I'm trying to do, is to fortify you, one, to get you through this time. And then second, I want to get you past it, and I want to help minimize that stress impact so that when life does proceed and we go back to somewhat of a new normal, that you are optimized and that you are healthy and you're not going to have the stress impact that you're going to see family and friends and colleagues and people is going to hit people, and it's going to hit people in different ways. And so if we can get you adaptive and help calm your body and be complementary in the herbal blends like Rhodiola and Tulsi, which Gaia is fantastic for, we can see some positive results from balancing the body. So that's kind of my takeaway for you. And I really, really encourage you to check out the links down below. Also, if you guys have any, desire to support, kids who are going through this chaos without connectivity to their schools, please check out One Simple Wish. I looked at it. There were like 10 wishes that were like $55 or less. Kids that needed art supplies and craft supplies, a helmet for a bike so they could ride their bike safely in their neighborhood. Those little things, and you can leave a little note, a little message. So I'll tell you this, we bought a laptop for a little boy named Nathaniel. You can even choose an age range. He's a 5-year-old, so he's just a year older than Gabriel. He's at home and he has a speech delay, and he needs his laptop, or needs a laptop, not his mom's and not his foster siblings, but he needs to do his speech therapy. So we gave him a little note, like you can donate or fulfill a wish is what they do. So you can choose who you want. It tells you about the child, and then you can leave him a little note. So we left him little notes, just kind of wishing him, wellness and that he'll get through this okay. And then we also posted some websites that were free websites that he could check out and enjoy for his learning. But it's called oneSimpleWish.org, and it is so fantastic. And I just fell in love with this organization, and hope you guys do too. There's so many kids that need help, so if you're in an ability to do that, I hope you will. And 5 years old, little Nathaniel, I mean, that could be life-changing. Just the connectivity a laptop could have of him staying connected to his school friends, but then also learning additional things. It's so minor for us, and we're willing to make a budgetary adjustment to help somebody else. So, just read that kids care less about finances and nutrition now instead, but eating is trending. I don't know, gas and diesel, what that specifically means, but I do know that there are a lot of kids that need connectivity, and the only way to do that is through a tablet, and they're not expensive. Like $200, $300 gets them some sort of tablet where they can log in. So check out so it's www.oneSimpleWish.org. There's a link down below, and I'll post on Instagram stories. I'll post and connect up to them. They were really gracious. Like my friend Ed posted his little birthday wish through Facebook. And then I was like, oh my God, I love it. And I told him, we got Nathaniel a 5-year-old laptop. They came in on Ed's feed and were like, thank you so much. This is so great. Very responsive, very gracious organization. And definitely, I think it's so great. The Real Charlie Orange, I want to volunteer with these kids. Absolutely. And they're everywhere. They're in all our communities. They might even be in the school systems that your kids go to. And who knows, they might even be in your neighborhood. You just don't know. So, acts of kindness and service and charitable acts go a long way, especially now. So, let's help each other, help our neighbors, because we are in this together. We're not alone. We're in this together. We will get through this together as a community. And that's what I'm hoping to build here, which is why I want to thank each and every one of you who joins me on the live every morning. So tomorrow, 9 a.m., tune in. I am going to try and post our schedule on Instagram and on my YouTube community tab. So look out for those. I'm going to really try and get a little bit more specific with what our topics are that we're talking about. And I just really, really appreciate it. So, and thanks again to Pat, who is our moderator on YouTube. Grateful for your time. Pat and Ron are at home scanning for trollers who kind of like to crash our party. And then also I want to thank our first responders and all of you who are frontline essential workers working at a grocery store, trucking and moving products and supplies that we need, our delivery folks, our mail carriers. By the way, support your mail carrier. If you grab them an extra mask, you are helping them, you're helping you, your neighbors, gloves as well, hand sanitizers. And a lot of these now are coming back in stock. So put that out there. Just love on everybody that you can and support those that you touch and who touch you every day. All right, friends, thank you so much. And thanks for our super chat. I really appreciate Futuristic for the $5 super chat that made my Monday. So thank you, each and every one of you. And I hope you guys tune in tomorrow, Instagram, check out my stories. And I'll be posting, by the way, if you guys want to see our Easter kind of montage, I posted some items on my feed yesterday. Gabriel loved the mega hamster that our Aldi shopper brought him, and some really good deals that I got on Target.com a few weeks ago where they had a 25% off coupon online. He is in love with his Paw Patrol toy. So yay, win for online shopping. All right, friends, stay safe, stay well, grab your masks. Sarah's store is open, link below, and you can grab and support a local Etsy vendor, caffeine quarantine mug. We can have our caffeine, tea. Tomorrow I'll have my tea in it. But we can support this and each other and have a little fun while we're doing it. All right, friends, thanks so much. Have a great rest of your day. Bye, Instagram. All right, friends, YouTube, thanks so much for joining me. Please hit the thumbs up. As always, I'm grateful for your time. And let's join forces together. Let's come together again tomorrow, 9 a.m. I'll see you then. Have a great day, everybody. Be safe, be well. Bye.